What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So we got another episode of This Week in Warframe. We're going over the entire weekly reset and what you can expect as a Warframe player this week. We just had a massive dev stream about Jade Shadows, which will be here on June 18th. But this upcoming week, we don't got a whole lot going on. So let's go into what we have for the weekly reset to go over, though. Before we do, make sure you sub this channel. We got daily Warframe video uploads on this channel. Also got the live stream channel. We're recording this live on stream, and we're doing the weekly reset live on stream. Might have some special little surprises planned for the next couple of days, video-wise. Well, yeah, let's just get into what we have right now. For your first weekly reset items at Teshin, we have 50,000 Kuva for 55 Steel Essence. Technically a discount compared to if you were to buy these individually, 15 each. Now, as far as big new stuff this week in Warframe, we've got the Zephyr and Chroma resurgence starting on, I believe, Thursday of this week. So you can turn in your Aya and Regal Aya to Varzia for getting Chroma, Zephyr, relics, and their weapons. The biggest prize, I'd say, out of these new resurgences is going to be the armor for Chroma. The Omuji Prime armor looks really good in my opinion. So yeah, if you're looking to get some new Prime armor, you can get some Regal Aya for that. Reminder too, we will be having Glaive Prime, Ember Prime, and the Sicarus Prime finally returning after years of being vaulted on July 20th when tennocon comes out. And also Super Baro will be that day as well, with everything Baro's ever had. So yeah, you can start farming relics right now. I'll have a prep guide for Jade Shadows on Tuesday. For Archides weekly wares, we've got some Riven mods here. We got a Rifle Riven mod for 15 Pathos, a Companion Riven for 20 Pathos, 5k Kuva for 10 Pathos, secondary Arcane Adapter for 25 Pathos, and a Forma Blueprint for 10 Pathos. Not really the most enticing week as far as what we have here, but if you'd like to fight those Aura Worms, you can maybe get some extra ribbons for your efforts. So yes, we are going to also have the Elite Archimedean as always, and yeah, if you don't have the Elite Archimedean unlocked, that's going to require rank 5 of the Kavia Syndicate, which, you know, with the way that those new bounties are rolling, it feels pretty rough to be doing those Kavia Syndicate bounties. For the Archon Hunt, we've got the Blue Archon Shard from the Owl Archon, and the mission types are Extermination, Interception, and the Final Boss Showdown. A really straightforward week as far as the Archon Hunt. For the Elite Archimedean, let's see. I am probably going to be starting to do a new video series. I've got some requests about doing Elite Archimedean guides. I'm going to probably start doing the Elite Archimedean solo to show and like to do some gameplay commentaries on the channel to show how you can, like, you know, look at what you have, decide like how can you solve this Elite Archimedean without having to, like, you know, rely on teammates playing Dante pretty much. All right, so as far as the Elite Archimedean this week, this will be a pretty easy one to solo, I'd say. We got Disruption, Survival, and Extermination. As far as the modifiers for the Elite Archimedean, reminder, if you don't have the Elite Archimedean turned on, you have one less negative modifier. For the Elite Archimedean, though, we've got the first one, Unified Purpose. All enemies will target the conduit. That means the conduits can be destroyed by enemies in Disruption. So be very careful about, you know, keeping them alive, basically. Because if all 4 of the conduits are destroyed, you lose the Disruption mission. So that's the first modifier. Second modifier, Vampiric Liminus. Slow-moving, immortal, Veri Liminus drain health and energy from allies that get too close. They might target the conduit, so be careful about that one. You might be losing your conduit before you even notice it. Post-mortal surges. Slain enemies burst with void energy. Be very careful. Be very, very careful in this disruption with these modifiers. It seems like it could be very easily destroying that conduit, and that would be you failing the mission potentially. So, a pretty deadly one for the first mission, I'd say. For the second mission, Survival, hostile support. The life support tower delivery system is disabled. Destroy mechs every 90 seconds, and they'll drop 6 life support modules when killed. Fortified foes. Guardian Eximus units may be encountered, including Guardian Eximus mechs. And then the final modifier for the Survival is Alluring Archonids. The Rogue Archonids, basically the dog robots, will charge their attacks and pull enemies towards them while they're charging the attack. So that lightning attack can easily hit you with this modifier. So this one's definitely not as bad as the first one, but might be a little bit difficult for some players. And the final mission is Extermination. Fissure Cascades. Fissures rip into the mission, causing enemies to level up by 1 level every 10 seconds. Destroy them to stop the leveling from increasing further. Shouldn't really be a big deal. This is going to be basically just a non-modifier, honestly.
explosive potential. Rupturing fragments replace the shuffling fragments. So this one basically means be careful in melee range. The arm enemies will explode and do a lot of damage, so be very, very careful if you are nearby them. And the final modifier for the Elite Archimedean, Myopic Munitions. Enemies only take damage if a player is within 15 meters of them. Okay, so explosive potential and Myopic Munitions is a pretty deadly combo, so be very, very careful about that if you see an arm enemy. Alright, and as far as the individual modifiers, Energy Exhaustion, lose 2 energy per second for each enemy within 10 meters of you. Abbreviated abilities, reduce overall ability duration by 75%. Fractured Armor, casting ability reduces armor by 10% for 10 seconds. And Ammo Deficit, ammo restores by drops and gear is reduced by 75%. I just realized I have a very, very good Incarnon, or very, very good Elite Archimedean. I got Cora, I've got the Torrid, I've got the Plinks, and I've got the Hate Incarnon. So this will be very free. I will probably solo this, and it won't be very impressive at all because I'll be using ridiculously strong gear. But either way, that's your Elite Archimedean for the week. Reminder, too, that if you have the rank 5 with the Kavia Syndicate, not only can you do the Elite Archimedean, you can also go over to Bird 3 and get a shard from Bird 3 once per week. Get a blue shard at Bird 3 for 30,000 reputation. Alright, let's go over the Veri stuff. And yeah, we can just talk about like Nightwave and like also what you can expect this week. So if you've been doing a lot of your Nightwave challenges, or if you're on Xbox, because Xbox for some reason got more Nightwave rep, you will be getting the new Sobek augment this week. I'll be putting out a video on it tomorrow, but it's still like it's pretty good, just not very exciting. All right, for the first normal Veri stuff, we've got Ash, Frost, and Nyx. There is really no question about it. If you want to dodge an extremely annoying farm, go with Ash as your selection, because he comes from Railjack defense missions, a place you definitely don't want to be at. Frost comes from a boss fight. I believe he comes from the Ceres boss fight, and Nyx comes from the Forid invasion boss fight. So super easy to farm Nyx and Frost. This guy, on the other hand, comes from Railjack defense, a terrible place to be. Definitely pick Ash as your circuit frame for the week. Now, as far as your Steel Path Incarnons, this is a pretty good week, just a heads up. We got the Lex Incarnon, the Magistar Incarnon, I'm picking it already, because it's going to be that good of Korra's stat stick. The Boltor Incarnon, the Bronco Incarnon, and the Ceramic Dagger Incarnon. If you haven't played in a while, reminder you can get Kuva and Rivens as alternate options for Incarnons nowadays. But reviewing each of these Incarnons and how good they are as far as recommendations, the Lex Incarnon, Incarnon form becomes an Archiplasmor, hallway clearing shot. This will be very, very good with crits. It has a guaranteed impact proc too, so if you use the Hemorrhage mod, it will be a nearly guaranteed slash proc as well. So very, very powerful, an anti-Acolyte all-star right here. On my go-to Saren build, I use my Sobek for AoE, and I use this to take care of the Acolyte. So an extremely top-tier Acolyte slaying weapon. It's going to be one of my top recommendations for the week. For the second option here, we have the Magistar Incarnon. Now, since we have these slam damage and slam build changes, this thing is a slam damage monster with the Seismic Slam Incarnon upgrade. Increase slam radius by 100%. You could get a 20-meter slam radius with this thing, with also multi-million damage too. So, pretty powerful in that regard. Now, the special attack on this thing doesn't really exist. It has increased heavy attack wind-up speed or something like that. Doesn't matter. The thing you care about on this is actually the stats. So it gives a ton of extra crit chance and crit damage with the top tier Incarnon. You can use this as a Korra static. It is the most damage of a Korra stat you can get. And yeah, the only problem is it's not as convenient as the Ceramic Dagger. The Ceramic Dagger is much more convenient. But yeah, the Magistar is going to be great. A top tier option on Korra specifically. So if you want to get a Korra stat stick, go for it. If you want a fun slam damage build, go for it as well. It's not a bad option as long as you don't worry about the special attack too much. For the Boltor Incarnon, this thing becomes... So it starts out as a puncture-based full-auto rifle. In the Incarnon form, it becomes a slash-focused slash multi-shot, full-auto shotgun, basically. And this thing can hit really hard, has lots of slash, as I stated 3 times already. And it's a good option. It's just not really the most meta thing in the game. It's still a generic rifle, kind of, at the end of the day, with good multi-shot. That's the thing that sets it apart from a generic rifle. It's good. I'm saying it's okay is a little bit dismissive. It's actually very good. But when you have really top-tier stat sticks like the Magistar and the Ceramic Dagger this week, it's kind of hard to be okay, yeah, go for the Boltor over that stuff. But yeah, the Boltor Prime and the Telos Boltor are both really good options here. The Boltor Prime technically being better in the end. But has less crit than Telos Boltor, technically. For the Bronco Incarnon, this thing is a pretty good utility weapon and a pretty decent slaying weapon as well, if you know what you're doing. The Incarnon form in this thing is going to make the shots ricochet to nearby enemies, and this thing has a lot higher stats in the Incarnon form as well. So if you use the Hemorrhage mod, just like with the Lex, this thing has a lot of impact procs, and it'll give you lots of slash procs too. So you can get like millions of damage of slash procs with this weapon. Additionally, the Dizzying Rounds Augment mod, it has returned in Nightwave. It's in the Nightwave store. It can like rotate in there, and that's going to give you guaranteed finishers on enemies, easy arrow mods, or easy crescendo stacks, easy, like finisher damage and all that kind of stuff. So a pretty decent option if you want to try out something that's not as meta for most players. And as far as meta stuff is concerned, the Ceramic Dagger Incarnon, definitely a meta weapon in Warframe. The special attack will release spectral daggers, but we don't really care about that. What we really care about here is going to be the Gun and Blade Incarnon upgrade. On primary kill or secondary kill, plus one initial combo, stacks up to 100 times. So before Melee Crescendo existed, this was extremely amazing. It's still good with Melee Crescendo, but yeah, it's 100 extra combo hits you're always going to have, as long as you get like 100 gun kills. So use that with like secondary outburst on Mesa, you'll be getting a ton of extra crits. But now that we have Melee Crescendo, this is not the only way to do this. Melee Crescendo will let you loot on any melee pretty much, so that can be pretty nice. But yeah, it's also a pretty good stat stick at the end of the day too. We got increased status chance or increased critical chance. It can be great on Korra, can be great on Gara. The list goes on. It's a very good versatility stat stick, but it's not as much damage as the Magistar technically when everything's said and done. Now that we've gone over all this stuff, what are my recommendations for this week? Now, you have a pretty hard choice ahead of you. It depends really what you specifically want as a player. Do you want a top-tier Incarnon pistol that can kill Acolytes in one bullet? Then go for the Lex Incarnon. Do you like to play Korra a lot? Do you want to do the most damage ever with Korra? Then go for the Magistar Incarnon. Do you want a good full auto slash rifle? Then go for the Boltor Incarnon. Do you want to have good utility and good slash procs with the Hemorrhage mod for a less meta pistol? Bronco Incarnon. Do you want the most versatile stat stick in the game that can work on every frame that wants a stat stick and also is a good weapon in itself? Then go for the Ceramic Dagger Incarnon. So you have your work cut out for you for what you want specifically. If I was to make an all-around recommendation as far as overall usefulness, I would say Ceramic Dagger number 1 and maybe Lex Incarnon number 2, because you've got a good stat stick if you pick this and you've got a good gun if you pick this. So that's going to be the best of both worlds in my opinion. But yeah, for specifically Korra players, the Magistar is going to be better than the Ceramic Dagger, technically, at the end of the day. So, yeah, these are my recommendations for this week, guys. But, of course, make sure you know what you want to get for your account, because this will not come around for over a month, so you have your work cut out for you. All right, let's go over the Nightwave challenges in the Nightwave Cred store. Sorry about missing the Dante helmet last week, but, just wasn't really important enough, apparently. All right, first, weekly, we got Collector. Collect 100 resources from the Veri. Oh, 100 Veri resources is rough. Maybe the fishing shouldn't do this one nice and quick, because I believe you get like a lot of fish scales from doing one fishing encounter. So either way, 100 resources from the Veri for that one. Gatherer. Gather 4,000 resources total. Okay. So 100 from the Veri and 4,000 total. First, Elite Weekly. Kill the Profit Taker. That thing drops a good amount of resources in the first place, so pretty straightforward. This is require rank 5 with Solaris United to get to this, to access the fight. And then another mini-boss, Elite Weekly. Kill the Tusk Doma Thumper in the Plains of Eidolon. How do you do that? I recommend doing a high-level bounty, and then just flying around, not actually doing the bounty. And the higher-level bounty will bring a higher chance to spawn the Tusk Doma Thumper, which is a variant of the Thumper. And you got your normal weekly stuff here. Kill 30 Eximus, complete 15 missions, and kill 500 enemies. Reminder, Sobek Augment if you've done all these challenges, or almost all these challenges. Okay, so we got a weird distribution, or weird organization here for the Nightwave store. Let's see what we got here. So we got some helmets. We got a really funny looking Corvex helmet. Remember, Corvex is getting an augment, but I don't think you want to look like this. Maybe you do. And yeah, just, helmets. Basically just helmets. Let's see what we got for these augment mods. So we got Wild Friends with the Gracata, Deadly Maneuvers for the Magnus, Exposing Harpoon for the Harpack, Bursting Mass for the Mutilus Quanta, and that's it for the Nightwave augment mods. So out of these, Deadly Maneuvers for the Magnus can be pretty good, but who's using the Magnus, really, to be honest? Shield Disruption, Pistol Scavenger, Energy Siphon, Holster Amp, and Steel Charge are your Aura mods. As far as the best option for Aura mods this week, definitely Steel Charge is a great one. Energy Siphon's good for newer players,
But you also have the Dreamer's Bond mod as a newer player nowadays as well. For Mastery Fodder, I saw that Ceramic Dagger right there. We got the Ceramic Dagger. Okay, so get a load of this. We got the Ceramic Dagger INCARNON and the Ceramic Dagger Blueprint this week in the Nightwave store. So they really want you to get that Ceramic Dagger. This is the only place in the game to get this blueprint. So get this blueprint for Nightwave creds and then go get the INCARNON with the Steel Path. And you'll have that amazing weapon all put together. Very simple. As far as the rest of the stuff here, we have Purging Slash for Excalibur, Purifying Flames for Ember, and Power of 3 for Ivara. I don't really use any of these. I used to use the Power of 3, but not anymore. So big things here in this store with Ceramic Dagger to get that INCARNON, and then other Mastery Fodder things or any helmets that you think look cool. So that's basically it for your weekly reset. We already went over the Archon Hunt, which is going to be that blue Archon with Exterminate Mission, Interception, and the final boss. Now, as far as the prep guide is going to be going, guys, for the Jade Shadows update, it's going to be in about 16 days. So make sure that if you have this override available in the back of your ship, you save this for the day of the Jade Shadows update, or like a day or two after, once we know the meta of the event, which will likely just be, it's likely just going to be Wukong, to be honest. You watched the previous video, but yeah. These are random per player per week. And let's see what we have. The Invigoration Override lets you put this, you can choose one of these Invigorations to make it on the frame you selected. So that's why I say to prepare for that. But you'll have the prep guide on Tuesday. All right, for first one, we got Ivara here. Increased primary critical chance and increased ability efficiency. This will be great for Ivara for long missions. Permanent invisibility even more, and even more crit chance. For Dante, we got 5 jump resets and 100% ability duration. Okay, I might have to play some more. I haven't played Dante for a couple weeks. This will be great for Dante to have longer duration on abilities. And yeah, jump resets is kind of funny, I suppose, too. And for the final one, for Sevagoth, we got 1,000 extra health and 250% increased secondary damage. Pretty nice for the Akicore, I suppose. But yeah, not really looking to mod for health on Sevagoth for high-level missions. So pretty decent ones. Now, as far as would any of these be good as an override for the new event, I'm going to go with no. I doubt we'll be really using... Actually, I guess the duration and jump resets, this would be pretty good for Wukong on the event. But yeah, we still got like 2 more weeks until that comes out. So, hope you guys found this video fun and helpful. Yeah, a pretty boring weekly reset, like I said. Rather, a pretty boring week in Warframe because there's nothing really going on. We're just kind of like waiting for the new update to come out. The biggest thing you have going on is going to be that Prime Resurgence on like Thursday, I think it is, with Zephyr and, yeah, it's Thursday, Zephyr and Chroma. So keep an eye out for that. But do remember to save some Aya for the Glaive Prime in July. All right, guys, take it easy. I'll see you next time. Peace.